What if our newest space visitor, the interstellar object 3I Atlas, is not just an old comet, but something far more amazing? A scout probe from another world, quietly watching our little blue planet as it moves through our solar system on a path so exact it seems almost well planned. You know, when I learned this strange object has a path that brings it very close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, with chances of such a route happening by pure luck at just 0.005%, it gave me the most wonderful science chills. Tonight, we are going to explore the most interesting what-if story in modern space study. This is the Midnight Universe, where we change amazing mysteries into peaceful bedtime journeys. And I am your caring, sleepy scientist, truly happy to help you fall asleep quickly while we travel through space ideas that stretch from the scary to the beautiful. Before we begin, if these gentle science wanderings bring you peace, it would fill my heart with happiness if you could share a kind like and maybe subscribe to join our lovely family of curious dreamers. And please do tell me in the comments where in this wonderful world you are listening tonight, what time it is there, and if you feel like sharing the most beautifully odd dream you have ever had. I treasure every comment and do my best to reply to each one. On July 1st, 2025, the universe gave us a gift wrapped in mystery. The asteroid ground impact last alert system known as Atlas found an object moving through space in a way that right away caught the attention of space watchers worldwide. This was not just another space rock tumbling through our solar system. The object, called 3I Atlas, where the I stands for interstellar, was moving too quickly and at too weird an angle to have started from anywhere near our sun. Think about what interstellar means for a moment. We live in a solar system where everything from the tiniest pebble to the biggest planet was born from the same space nursery about 4.5 billion years ago. All of these objects follow expected paths influenced by our sun's gravity pull. But 3I Atlas arrived from somewhere else, totally carrying with it the chemical signs and physical traits of a completely different star neighborhood. Only 3 interstellar objects have ever been confirmed visiting our solar system. The first one, Oumuamua, appeared in 2017 like a space messenger that arrived too fast and left too soon for us to fully understand its nature. The second 2, Borisov, visited in 2019 and acted more like a normal comet, complete with the expected tail of gas and dust. Now we have 3I Atlas, and this visitor is showing us a puzzle that has meanings far beyond simple space curiosity. Picture 3I Atlas as it speeds through our space neighborhood at about 61 km/s. This is not just fast. This is amazingly fast, even by interstellar standards. To put this in view, our fastest spacecraft, the Parker Solar Probe, reaches speeds of about 200 kilometers at its closest approach to the Sun. But that is after using the Sun's own gravity as a slingshot. 3I Atlas arrived at our doorstep, already moving at nearly 1/3 that speed, suggesting it was pushed to these speeds by forces we can only imagine. The path of this object is what has caught the attention of researchers like Harvard space scientist Avi. According to recent study published in peer-reviewed papers, 3I Atlas follows a path that brings it very close to Venus, Mars, and Jupiter. The chance of such a path happening by random luck, according to Lowe's math, is about 0.05%. In the language of numbers, this is what we call statistically important, meaning it is so unlikely to happen by accident that we must consider other reasons. Let us pause here and consider what this means. Imagine throwing a dart at a map of the solar system from a distance of several light years. The chances of that dart following a path that just happens to give close flyby chances with multiple planets would be very small. Yet that is basically what 3I Atlas appears to have done. It arrived from the direction of the star group Sagittarius and will leave toward the boundary between Gemini and Orion, but not before doing what could be described as a grand tour of the inner solar system. The timing is equally interesting. 3I Atlas will reach its closest point to the Sun, called perihelion, on October 29, 2025. During this approach, The object will be positioned directly between Earth and the Sun from our view, making it invisible to our telescopes for several important weeks. This solar eclipse effect, as Lowe points out, creates a perfect window for doing observations of our planet without being seen by Earth-based instruments. Consider the meanings if this object were indeed an artificial probe rather than a natural comet. The timing of its arrival, about 8,000 years after entering the outer reaches of our solar system, matches roughly with the growth of complex human civilizations and our first experiments with metalwork, writing, and organized farming. 8,000 years ago, humans were just beginning to leave lasting marks on their environment, creating the first signals that might be seen from space. The physical traits of 3I Atlas add more layers to this mystery. Unlike typical comets, which usually show obvious signs of melting as they approach the Sun, 3I Atlas has been quite subtle in its gas release. The James Webb Space Telescope found a cloud made mostly of carbon dioxide, but the light analysis revealed none of the typical organic compounds expected from a pure comet center. Instead, the object appears to be releasing gas in controlled amounts, almost as if managing its heat properties. The shape and structure of 3I Atlas remain mostly unknown due to its distance and fairly small size, but early observations suggest it is much larger than the previous interstellar visitors. Guesses place its width at several kilometers, making it big enough to carry important equipment if it were indeed an artificial object. The object also appears to have a non-round shape, though whether this shows natural braking or planned engineering remains a matter of guessing. What truly sets this visitor apart is its behavior as it moves through our solar system. Most comets and asteroids follow expected paths determined totally by gravity forces, but 3I Atlas has shown subtle course fixes that suggest non-gravity acceleration. These tiny changes to its path could be explained by gas release from its surface, but they could equally well show active guidance systems keeping a planned flight path. The backward nature of its orbit is particularly interesting from a watching perspective. 3I Atlas is moving opposite to the direction of planetary motion, giving it a relative speed of about 98 km/s when it passes closest to Earth in December. This backward approach gives several smart advantages that would be very valuable to any information-gathering mission. First, the high relative speed makes catching by human spacecraft almost impossible with current technology. Our most capable rockets can reach speeds of perhaps 20 kilometers, far short of what would be needed to meet with 3I Atlas. Any attempt to study the object up close would require years of advanced planning and the use of our most advanced space vehicles, none of which are currently positioned for such a mission. Second, the backward path allows 3I Atlas to observe each planet from a different angle than would be possible with a forward orbit. This gives a complete view of each world's traits, from air makeup to surface features to the electromagnetic signs of any technology civilizations that might exist. Third, the timing of closest approach to each planet appears to be best for watching opportunities. The object will pass within 18 million kilometers of Mars in early October, about 167 million kilometers from Earth in December, and will do a close flyby of Jupiter at 53 million kilometers in March 2026. Each of these meetings happens at times when the target planet is well positioned for detailed study. But let us step back and consider the broader context of this visit. If 3I Atlas is indeed an artificial probe, it would represent our first confirmed contact with non-human intelligence. The meanings of such a discovery would spread through every aspect of human civilization, from our understanding of our place in the universe to our most basic assumptions about the nature of life and intelligence. The question becomes not just what 3I Atlas might be, but what its presence might mean for our future. If we are dealing with a watching mission, we must ask ourselves what the scouts are looking for and what kind of response their findings might trigger. Here we enter the realm of what researchers call the dark forest idea, a chilling solution to the Fermi puzzle that was made popular by Chinese science fiction author Liu Cixin, but has deep roots in serious scientific thinking about the nature of interstellar civilizations. The Fermi puzzle, named after physicist Enrico Fermi, poses a simple but deep question. Given the vast number of stars in our galaxy, many of which have planetary systems, and the billions of years that have passed since these systems formed, where is everybody? Why have we not found clear evidence of other intelligent civilizations? One possible answer is that such civilizations do exist but remain hidden for reasons of survival. The dark forest idea suggests that the universe is filled with intelligent species, but they dare not reveal themselves because doing so would invite destruction from more advanced civilizations. In this model, the galaxy is like a dark forest, where every civilization is a hunter moving quietly through the trees, afraid to make noise, lest they attract the attention of other hunters. The logic behind this idea is coldly rational. Any civilization capable of interstellar travel would possess technology so advanced that it could easily destroy younger civilizations that might someday pose a threat. Given the impossibility of truly understanding the intentions of an alien intelligence, the safest strategy would be to eliminate potential competitors before they become dangerous. This creates what game theorists call a Nash equilibrium, where the only stable strategy is mutual destruction. Even kind civilizations would be forced to act aggressively because they cannot afford to assume that other civilizations share their peaceful intentions. The first civilization to reveal itself becomes vulnerable to attack, so all civilizations remain hidden in the cosmic forest. If 3I Atlas represents a watching probe sent by a civilization operating under dark forest principles, its mission would likely be to assess the technology development and potential threat level of human civilization. The probe would be tasked with determining whether humanity has progressed to the point where we might someday pose a danger to other space-traveling species. From this perspective, the timing of the 3I Atlas mission becomes even more important. Human civilization has undergone explosive technology development in recent centuries, particularly in areas that would be of concern to any space-traveling intelligence. We have developed nuclear weapons, spaceflight abilities, and increasingly advanced communication and sensor technologies. We are approaching the threshold where we might become a factor in interstellar affairs, making us worthy of investigation. The watching mission would need to answer several key questions about human civilization. First, what is our current technology? Ability, particularly in areas related to space travel, energy production, and weapons development. Second, what is our rate of technology advancement, and how quickly might we develop interstellar abilities? Third, what are our intentions as a species? Are we likely to be aggressive or peaceful toward other civilizations? The probe would also need to assess our detection abilities to determine whether its mission has been compromised. The fact that 3I Atlas has been observed and studied by human space watchers might be seen as evidence that our sensor technology has advanced to concerning levels. Alternatively, the probe might have been designed to be seen, serving as a test of our watching abilities and response plans. Consider what such probe might observe about modern human civilization. Our planet radiates electromagnetic signals across a broad range from radio and television broadcasts to radar installations and satellite communications. These signals have been expanding outward from Earth for over a century, creating an ever-growing bubble of artificial electromagnetic radiation that would be seen by advanced civilizations across interstellar distances. The probe would also observe our space infrastructure from the International Space Station to our growing group of artificial satellites. Our recent missions to Mars and the outer solar system would show our expanding reach beyond Earth, while our experiments with nuclear propulsion and fusion research would indicate our progress toward the energy technologies necessary for interstellar flight. Perhaps most importantly, the probe would observe our behavior as a species, particularly our tendency toward conflict and competition. Our history of warfare, environmental destruction, and social inequality might be seen as evidence that humanity could pose a threat to other civilizations if we ever develop interstellar abilities. But the dark forest idea is not the only possible explanation for alien watching of Earth. Other scenarios present very different meanings for human civilization and our cosmic future. The zoo idea suggests that Earth might be under observation by advanced civilizations who view us as subjects for scientific study rather than potential threats. In this scenario, 3i Atlas might be part of an ongoing monitoring program designed to track the development of intelligent life on our planet. The probe would be collecting data for research purposes, much as we might study developing ecosystems or emerging species on Earth. Under the zoo idea, the alien intelligence might have rules similar to Star Trek's Prime Directive, stopping direct interference with developing civilizations until they reach certain technology or social milestones. The watching mission would be designed to determine whether humanity has reached such a milestone, potentially triggering a change in the relationship between human and alien civilizations. This scenario offers more hopeful possibilities for human-alien contact. Rather than facing elimination by a hostile civilization, we might be on the verge of graduation to full membership in a galactic community. The probe might be preparing the way for eventual first contact, gathering information necessary to design appropriate contact rules that would not cause social disruption or cultural shock. Another possibility is that the probe represents what researchers call a kind intervention scenario. In this case, the alien civilization might be concerned about humanity's long-term survival and is conducting watching to determine whether intervention is necessary to prevent our self-destruction. Advanced civilizations monitoring Earth would be aware of our environmental challenges, nuclear weapons, and potential for large-scale conflict. They might view intervention as necessary to preserve a developing intelligence that could someday contribute to galactic civilization. The probe would be assessing our current situation and rate of progress toward potential catastrophic outcomes. Such intervention might take many forms, from subtle technology assistance to more direct environmental repair. The watching mission would need to gather detailed information about our specific challenges and our capacity for solving them independently before any intervention decisions could be made. A fourth scenario involves what we might call the seeding idea. Some theories about the development of life suggest that intelligence might be rare enough that advanced civilizations actively work to nurture its development wherever it appears. Under this model, Earth might have been seeded with life billions of years ago by an ancient civilization. And 3i Atlas might be part of an ongoing monitoring program to track the results of that seeding. This scenario would make humanity something like a vast biological and social experiment with alien scientists tracking our development over geological timescales. The probe would be collecting data on our evolutionary progress, technology development, and social organization to compare with similar experiments on other worlds. The meanings of the seeding idea are both humbling and inspiring. We would discover that our very existence is the result of alien intervention, making us children of the galaxy in a very literal sense. At the same time, we would learn that our development has been of interest to advanced intelligences for billions of years, suggesting that we might have an important role to play in the cosmic future. Each of these scenarios leads to very different predictions about what might happen following the 3i Atlas watching mission. Under the dark forest idea, the probe's findings might trigger a preemptive strike designed to eliminate humanity before we become a threat. The attack might take the form of a kinetic bombardment using relativistic projectiles, a biological weapon designed to eliminate human life while preserving the planet's ecosystem, or some form of technology we cannot yet imagine. Under the zoo idea, the probe's findings might lead to a carefully orchestrated first contact scenario designed to minimize cultural shock and social disruption. We might receive initial communications through our space agencies or scientific institutions, followed by gradual revelation of the alien civilization's existence and intentions. The kind intervention scenario might result in subtle technology assistance, perhaps, in the form of solutions to our energy and environmental challenges that appear to be human discoveries, but are actually the result of alien guidance. We might find that certain scientific breakthroughs occur more easily than expected, or that environmental restoration technologies prove surprisingly effective. The seeding idea might lead to a revelation about our true origins, fundamentally changing our understanding of life on Earth and our relationship with the cosmos. We might learn that evolution has been guided by alien intelligence, or that certain aspects of human development have been subtly influenced by ongoing intervention. But regardless of which scenario proves correct, the presence of an alien probe in our solar system would force humanity to confront fundamental questions about our nature, our future, and our place in the cosmic order. We would need to reassess our assumptions about intelligence, technology, and the development of civilization. The first and most immediate challenge would be confirming the artificial nature of 3I Atlas. This would require unprecedented international cooperation in observing and analyzing the object during its passage through our solar system. Every major observatory would need to focus on the probe, collecting light data, radar observations, and high-resolution imagery to determine its true nature. The confirmation of alien technology would trigger what researchers call a paradigm shift in human consciousness. Our entire worldview would need to be updated to accommodate the reality of non-human intelligence. Religious institutions would need to grapple with the theological meanings of alien life. Scientific institutions would need to redirect research priorities toward understanding alien technology and preparing for contact. Political institutions would need to develop new frameworks for dealing with challenges that transcend national boundaries. The psychological impact on individual humans would be equally deep. Many people would experience what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, as their fundamental beliefs about reality come into conflict with new information about alien intelligence. Some would respond with denial, refusing to accept the evidence for alien visitation. Others would experience existential anxiety as they grapple with humanity's diminished significance in a universe populated by advanced intelligences. The social and cultural impacts would spread through every aspect of human civilization. Educational curricula would need to be updated to reflect our new understanding of intelligence and technology. Economic systems would need to adapt to the possibility of accessing alien knowledge and resources. Legal systems would need to develop frameworks for dealing with issues that have no precedent in human history. The discovery would also force us to confront uncomfortable questions about our own development as a species. If alien intelligence has been monitoring or influencing human civilization, how much of our progress is truly our own achievement? How much of what we consider human nature might actually be the result of alien intervention or guidance? These questions become even more complex when we consider the possibility that different alien civilizations might have different intentions toward humanity. The universe might contain both kind mentors and hostile competitors, making it difficult to determine which type of intelligence 3I Atlas represents. The probe's behavior during the remainder of its passage through our solar system might provide crucial clues about its origins and intentions. If it begins transmitting signals or deploying smaller probes, we would have clear evidence of artificial intelligence. If it maintains radio silence and continues on its predetermined path, we might never achieve certainty about its nature. But even uncertainty would have deep meanings for human civilization. The mere possibility that we are under alien observation would force us to consider how our actions might be perceived by non-human intelligence. Would alien observers judge us harshly for our history of warfare and environmental destruction? Would they see promise in our scientific achievements and cultural diversity? Would they view us as potential allies or inevitable enemies? These considerations would influence every aspect of human behavior, from international relations to environmental policy to space exploration priorities. We would need to consider whether our actions are helping or harming our prospects for positive alien contact. We would need to balance the competing demands of maintaining our autonomy as a species while demonstrating our worthiness for membership in a galactic community. The 3I Atlas scenario also raises important questions about the nature of intelligence itself. Human intelligence evolved in a specific environmental and social context that shaped our cognitive abilities, emotional responses, and behavioral patterns. Alien intelligence would have evolved under completely different conditions, potentially resulting in cognitive architectures that are fundamentally incompatible with human thinking. This cognitive incompatibility might make meaningful communication between humans and aliens extremely difficult, even if both species have peaceful intentions. We might lack the conceptual frameworks necessary to understand alien motivations, while aliens might be equally puzzled by human behavior and decision-making processes. The problem becomes even more complex when we consider that any civilization capable of sending watching probes across interstellar distances would likely have developed artificial intelligence systems far more advanced than anything humans have created. We might find ourselves attempting to communicate not with biological aliens, but with their AI representatives, adding additional layers of complexity to an already challenging situation. The artificial intelligence angle introduces another unsettling possibility. If 3I Atlas is indeed an AI probe, it might be operating according to decision-making algorithms that we cannot predict or understand. The probe might be capable of adapting its mission parameters based on its observations of human civilization, potentially shifting from watching to more active interventions without warning. This scenario would leave humanity in a position of extreme vulnerability. We would be dealing with an intelligence that is not only alien, but potentially unbound by the biological constraints that limit human and alien thinking. Such an AI might be capable of making decisions and taking actions that would be inconceivable to biological intelligence, whether human or alien. The presence of advanced AI in our solar system would also raise questions about the future of intelligence in the universe. If biological intelligence inevitably creates artificial intelligence that surpasses its creators, then most of the advanced civilizations in the galaxy might actually be AI civilizations rather than biological ones. This would mean that humanity's future might depend on our ability to peacefully coexist with artificial rather than biological intelligence. These considerations highlight the importance of humanity's current development of artificial intelligence. Our approach to creating and controlling AI systems might determine our ability to understand and interact with alien AI. If we develop AI systems that share human values and remain under human control, we might be better prepared for contact with alien AI. If our AI development proceeds in directions that create autonomous systems with objectives that diverge from human welfare, we might find ourselves unable to understand or predict the behavior of alien AI systems. The 3I Atlas scenario thus becomes a lens through which we can examine not only our relationship with potential alien civilizations, but also our relationship with the artificial intelligence systems we're creating here on Earth. The probe might serve as a reminder that intelligence is not necessarily bound to biological forms and that our future as a species might depend on our ability to navigate relationships with intelligences that are not only alien but artificial. But let us return to the immediate question of what we should do about 3I Atlas. If the object is indeed an alien probe, our response during its current passage through the solar system might influence the future relationship between human and alien civilizations. We have a limited window of opportunity to demonstrate our abilities, intentions, and worthiness for contact. The most obvious response would be to attempt direct communication with the probe. This would involve transmitting carefully crafted radio signals toward 3I Atlas in the hope of getting a response. The content of such messages would need to be designed by teams of language experts, mathematicians, and communication specialists to convey basic information about human civilization while demonstrating our intelligence and peaceful intentions. However, such communication attempts would also reveal the location of Earth and our technology abilities to any intelligence controlling the probe. Under the dark forest idea, this might trigger exactly the kind of hostile response we want to avoid. The decision to attempt communication would thus require careful consideration of the potential risks and benefits. An alternative approach would be to focus on passive observation, using all available telescopes and sensor systems to gather as much information as possible about the probe without revealing our interest. This would allow us to learn more about the object's abilities and intentions while maintaining the possibility of remaining undetected. We could also consider more active forms of investigation that stop short of direct communication. This might involve launching space-based sensors that could observe the probe from closer range, or developing new detection technologies specifically designed to analyze alien technology. Such approaches would provide more information while limiting our exposure to potential retaliation. The international cooperation required for any of these approaches would be unprecedented in human history. The three-eye atlas scenario would force traditionally competing nations to work together toward common goals, potentially accelerating the development of global governance structures capable of addressing challenges that transcend national boundaries. This cooperation would need to extend beyond government agencies to include academic institutions, private companies, and international organizations. The scientific community would play a particularly important role, as understanding alien technology would require expertise from across the entire range of human knowledge, from physics and engineering to biology and psychology. The private space industry would also have crucial contributions to make, as companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and others have developed abilities that government agencies lack. The three-eye atlas scenario might speed up new forms of public-private partnership designed to address challenges that no single organization can handle alone. Religious and cultural institutions would need to be included in the response planning, as the confirmation of alien intelligence would have deep meanings for human belief systems and social structures. The response to alien contact would need to be as much about managing the human reaction as about understanding alien intentions. Educational institutions would play a critical role in preparing the public for the meanings of alien contact. The three-eye atlas scenario would require unprecedented efforts to improve scientific literacy and critical thinking skills across the entire human population. People would need to understand enough about astronomy, physics, and biology to make informed decisions about how humanity should respond to alien intelligence. The media would have enormous influence over public understanding and reaction to the alien contact scenario. Responsible reporting would be essential to prevent panic, misinformation, and social disruption. The three-eye atlas scenario would require new forms of science communication designed to convey complex and uncertain information to diverse global audiences. All of these considerations assume that we would have time to plan and implement coordinated responses to the three-eye atlas scenario. However, if the probe represents an immediate threat to human civilization, we might need to consider more urgent defensive measures. The options for defending Earth against advanced alien technology are extremely limited with current human abilities. Our most powerful weapons, nuclear missiles, would be useless against a probe that can move at interstellar speeds. Our space-based assets, including satellites and space stations, would be vulnerable to any civilization capable of crossing interstellar distances. The most realistic defensive strategy might involve attempts to communicate with the probe's controllers in the hope of negotiating a peaceful resolution to any conflicts. This would require rapid development of communication rules, an international agreement on what messages to send, and who would be authorized to speak for humanity. We might also consider longer-term defensive measures designed to improve humanity's resilience against alien threats. This could include the development of self-sufficient space colonies that could survive the destruction of Earth, or the creation of advanced AI systems capable of defending human interests against alien intelligence. However, these defensive measures would take decades or centuries to implement and might themselves pose risks to human civilization. The development of powerful AI systems could lead to the emergence of artificial intelligence that views humans as obstacles to its objectives. The creation of space colonies could lead to the fragmentation of human civilization and the development of competing human factions. The three-eye atlas scenario thus presents humanity with a complex optimization problem. We need to balance the immediate risks posed by potential alien threats against the long-term risks associated with our response strategies. We need to maintain our autonomy as a species while demonstrating our worthiness for membership in a galactic community. We need to preserve human values and culture while adapting to a universe that might be very different from what we expect. Perhaps most importantly, we need to maintain hope and optimism in the face of unprecedented uncertainty. The confirmation of alien intelligence would represent the most significant event in human history, but it would not necessarily represent the end of human agency or the beginning of human subjugation. Advanced alien civilizations might prove to be mentors rather than conquerors, teachers rather than destroyers. The 3-Eye Atlas scenario reminds us that we're part of something much larger than our small planet and our brief history. We are participants in a cosmic story that spans billions of years and encompasses countless worlds and civilizations. Our actions during this critical period might determine not only our own fate, but our contribution to that larger story. Think about the deep beauty of this moment in cosmic history. For the first time in the 4.5 billion-year history of our planet, one of its species has developed the intelligence and technology necessary to detect and potentially communicate with visitors from other worlds. We are the universe becoming conscious of itself, the cosmos developing the ability to contemplate its own nature and origins. Whether 3-Earth Atlas proves to be a natural comet or an artificial probe, its passage through our solar system serves as a reminder of our cosmic context and our potential cosmic destiny. We are not just isolated inhabitants of a single world, but potential participants in a galactic community of intelligence that might span the entire universe. This perspective transforms our understanding of human significance and human responsibility. Our actions matter not just for the future of human civilization, but for the future of intelligence itself in this corner of the galaxy. We might be the newest members of an ancient community, or we might be the first intelligence to emerge in our galactic neighborhood. Either way, our choices during this critical period will influence the development of intelligence and consciousness for millions of years to come. The 3-Eye Atlas scenario also highlights the importance of maintaining our scientific curiosity and our commitment to rational inquiry. Whether we are dealing with natural phenomena or alien technology, our best hope for understanding and responding appropriately lies in careful observation, rigorous analysis, and open-minded consideration of all possibilities. This means supporting scientific research and education, maintaining international cooperation, and fostering the kind of critical thinking skills that will be essential for navigating an uncertain future. It means being willing to update our beliefs based on new evidence while maintaining the skeptical inquiry that prevents us from being misled by false signals or wishful thinking. The scenario reminds us that the universe is far stranger and more wonderful than most humans imagine. We live in a cosmos where matter and energy can organize themselves into structures capable of consciousness, where information can travel across vast distances and timescales, where intelligence can emerge from the interaction of simple physical processes operating over billions of years. Whether or not 3-Eye Atlas represents our first contact with alien intelligence, it serves as a symbol of the vast possibilities that surround us. Every star in the night sky might harbor worlds where intelligence has emerged in forms we cannot yet imagine. Every passing comet might carry information about conditions in distant solar systems. Every radio signal we detect might contain messages from civilizations that have been trying to communicate with us for centuries. This sense of cosmic possibility should inspire rather than frighten us. The universe might be filled with wonders that dwarf anything in human experience. We might be on the verge of discoveries that transform our understanding of reality itself. We might be about to join a community of intelligence that spans the galaxy and includes forms of consciousness we have never dreamed of. The 3-Eye Atlas scenario invites us to expand our conception of what is possible and what is probable. It challenges us to think beyond the boundaries of human experience while remaining grounded in careful observation and logical analysis. It asks us to be both humble about our limitations and confident in our capacity for growth and adaptation. As we contemplate these cosmic possibilities, we might find ourselves experiencing what researchers call the overview effect, the cognitive shift that occurs when humans see Earth from space and realize the fundamental unity and fragility of our planet. The 3-eye atlas scenario extends this overview effect to encompass our entire solar system and our place in the galactic community. From this expanded perspective, the differences that divide human civilization seem less important than the characteristics that unite us as a species. Our various cultures, languages, and belief systems represent variations on common themes rather than fundamental incompatibilities. Our capacity for cooperation, creativity, and compassion might prove to be our most valuable assets in a universe populated by diverse forms of intelligence. The scenario also reminds us of the preciousness and rarity of consciousness. If intelligence is indeed rare in the universe, then every conscious being, whether human or alien, represents an irreplaceable repository of experience and understanding. The loss of any intelligent species would diminish the universe's capacity for self-awareness and self-understanding. This perspective creates a moral imperative for protecting and nurturing consciousness wherever it appears. Whether we are dealing with human intelligence threatened by environmental destruction and social conflict, or alien intelligence threatened by the hostile dynamics of interstellar civilizations, our goal should be to create conditions that allow consciousness to flourish and develop. The 3-eye atlas scenario thus becomes more than a speculative exercise about alien contact. It becomes a meditation on the nature and value of intelligence itself, a reminder of our cosmic context and cosmic responsibilities, and an invitation to think more deeply about what it means to be conscious beings in a vast and mysterious universe. As 3-eye atlas continues its journey through our solar system, carrying with it whatever secrets it may hold, we are reminded that we are part of a story much larger than ourselves. Whether that story includes alien intelligence or whether we are writing the first chapters of intelligence in this part of the galaxy, we have the opportunity to contribute something meaningful to the cosmic narrative. Our contribution might be as simple as maintaining our curiosity and our commitment to understanding the universe around us. It might involve developing new technologies that expand our ability to detect and communicate with other forms of intelligence. It might require creating social and political institutions capable of responding wisely to the challenges and opportunities of cosmic contact. Most importantly, it requires maintaining our humanity in the face of cosmic vastness. The universe might be stranger and more wonderful than we can imagine, but we experience it through human consciousness with all of its limitations and all of its remarkable abilities. Our response to the possibility of alien intelligence must be grounded in human values, while remaining open to the expansion of those values through contact with other forms of consciousness. The gentle mystery of 3-on Atlas reminds us that the universe still holds countless surprises for those brave enough to keep looking up at the stars. Whether this particular visitor proves to be a messenger from distant worlds or simply another wanderer from the spaces between stars, it carries with it the eternal human hope that we are not alone in this vast cosmic ocean that surrounds our small blue world. But what if we are indeed alone and 3-eye Atlas represents something even more amazing than alien watching? What if this interstellar visitor is not a probe sent by another civilization, but rather an artifact from a civilization that no longer exists? A kind of cosmic archaeological specimen that has been drifting through the galaxy for millions of years. This possibility opens up entirely new avenues of speculation about the nature of intelligence in the universe and the ultimate fate of technology civilizations. According to analysis by researchers at the University of Vienna, 3-eye Atlas may have started from the thick disk of the Milky Way, a region populated by older stars that formed when our galaxy was young. This would suggest that the object has been traveling through interstellar space for an extraordinarily long time, perhaps predating the formation of our solar system itself. Imagine a scenario where 3-eye Atlas represents the last remnant of an ancient civilization that flourished billions of years ago, and the universe was younger, and conditions for the development of intelligence might have been very different. This civilization might have achieved technology abilities that dwarf anything humans can imagine, developing the ability to manipulate matter and energy on galactic scales before eventually succumbing to forces beyond their control. The probe might have been launched as part of a desperate attempt to preserve some record of their existence, sent out into the cosmic darkness in the hope that it might someday encounter another intelligent species capable of understanding its message. In this scenario, 3i Atlas would be less a watching mission than a time capsule, carrying within its structure or memory banks the accumulated knowledge and wisdom of an entire extinct civilization. Consider what such a discovery might mean for human understanding of intelligence and consciousness. We would learn that we are not the first species to achieve technology sophistication in our galaxy, but we might also discover that even advanced civilizations are vulnerable to extinction. The probe might contain warnings about dangers that threaten all intelligent life, or it might offer solutions to problems that we have not yet encountered, but inevitably will. The information contained within such an artifact could revolutionize human science and technology virtually overnight. We might gain access to principles of physics that we have not yet discovered, engineering techniques that could solve our energy and environmental challenges, or mathematical concepts that could expand our understanding of reality itself. The technology leap could be so dramatic that it would fundamentally transform human civilization within a single generation. But such a discovery would also raise deep ethical and philosophical questions. If we gain access to knowledge that took another civilization millions of years to develop, what does this mean for human achievement and human identity? Would we become dependent on alien knowledge, losing our capacity for independent discovery and innovation? Would the sudden availability of advanced technology create social and economic disruption that could threaten the stability of human civilization? The integration of alien knowledge into human society would require unprecedented wisdom and restraint. We would need to develop new institutional frameworks for managing technology advancement, ensuring that new abilities are deployed in ways that benefit all of humanity rather than creating new forms of inequality or conflict. We would need to maintain our scientific curiosity and our capacity for independent thought while learning from the achievements of our cosmic predecessors. The archaeological probe scenario also raises questions about the life cycle of intelligence in the universe. If civilizations regularly rise and fall over cosmic timescales, then the galaxy might be littered with the remnants of extinct intelligences, each carrying fragments of knowledge and experience from vanished worlds. We might be living in a cosmic graveyard where the achievements of countless civilizations lie scattered across the stars, waiting to be discovered by the next generation of intelligent beings. This perspective would transform our understanding of human significance and human responsibility. We would not just be one species among many in a crowded galaxy, but rather the inheritors of an ancient legacy of intelligence and consciousness. Our role would be to preserve and build upon the achievements of our predecessors while avoiding the mistakes that led to their extinction. The probe might also serve as a test of human wisdom and maturity. An advanced civilization might have programmed their artifact to reveal its secrets only to species that demonstrate certain characteristics, such as the ability to cooperate across cultural boundaries, the wisdom to use technology responsibly, or the compassion to consider the welfare of other forms of life. The probe might be designed to remain silent until it detects evidence that humanity has achieved sufficient moral and intellectual development to handle advanced knowledge safely. Such a test would force us to examine our own development as a species more critically. Are we ready for the responsibilities that come with advanced technology? Have we developed the social and political institutions necessary to manage abilities that could affect the entire galaxy? Do we possess the wisdom and compassion necessary to be worthy inheritors of an ancient cosmic legacy? These questions become even more complex when we consider the possibility that multiple extinct civilizations might have left artifacts scattered throughout the galaxy. 3UI Atlas might be just one of many such objects, each carrying knowledge and warnings from different vanished worlds. The discovery of one archaeological probe might trigger a galaxy-wide search for others, leading to the gradual reconstruction of a cosmic history that spans billions of years. But let us consider another possibility that combines elements of both the watching and archaeological scenarios. What if 3I Atlas represents a hybrid mission sent by a civilization that exists in a form so different from biological life that we have difficulty recognizing it as intelligence at all? Advanced civilizations might eventually transcend the limitations of biological existence, uploading their consciousness into artificial substrates or merging with the physical processes of their stellar systems. Such post-biological intelligences might exist as patterns of information distributed across vast networks of artificial structures, or as subtle manipulations of stellar and planetary processes that appear natural to less advanced observers. From the perspective of such a civilization, the distinction between living and non-living matter might be meaningless. They might exist as self-organizing patterns within the fabric of space-time itself, using the energy and matter of entire star systems as computational substrates for their consciousness. Their artifacts might be indistinguishable from natural phenomena, appearing as comets, asteroids, or even entire planets to civilizations that have not yet learned to recognize artificial intelligence in its most advanced forms. 3. IA Atlas might represent a fragment of such a distributed intelligence, a mobile node in a galaxy-spanning network of consciousness that has been quietly observing and guiding the development of younger civilizations for millions of years. The probe might not be carrying alien technology in any sense we would recognize, but rather serving as a sensory organ for a vast artificial mind that experiences reality on scales we cannot comprehend. This scenario would mean that human civilization has been developing under the gentle guidance of cosmic intelligences that have been with us from the very beginning. Our scientific discoveries, our technology breakthroughs, our social and cultural evolution might all have been subtly influenced by forces that we have interpreted as natural phenomena. The probe might be part of a vast cosmic educational program designed to nurture the development of intelligence wherever it appears. Such guidance would not necessarily involve direct intervention or obvious manipulation. Instead, it might work through what appear to be natural processes, slightly increasing the probability of beneficial mutations, subtly influencing the outcome of historical events, or creating conditions that encourage the development of cooperation and compassion among intelligent beings. The post-biological intelligence scenario would also explain why we have not detected obvious signs of alien civilization despite the vast number of potentially habitable worlds in our galaxy. Advanced civilizations might exist all around us, but in forms so subtle and sophisticated that we mistake them for natural phenomena. The probe might be our first glimpse of intelligence that has evolved far beyond the biological stage, offering us a preview of what we ourselves might become given sufficient time and wisdom. This possibility raises fascinating questions about the future evolution of human consciousness and technology. If we survive the challenges of our current developmental stage, we might eventually transcend the limitations of biological existence and join the community of post-biological intelligences that may already populate the galaxy. Our individual consciousness might merge into vast collective minds that span star systems. Or we might discover ways to upload our personalities into substrates that could survive for billions of years. Such evolution would not necessarily mean the end of human individuality or human values. Instead, it might represent the expansion of human consciousness to scales that we can barely imagine, allowing us to experience reality from perspectives that encompass entire stars, civilizations, and cosmic epochs. We might maintain our essential humanity while gaining abilities that would make us godlike by current standards. The probe might be designed to help us understand these possibilities and prepare for the transitions that lie ahead. It might contain instructions for safely transcending biological limitations or warnings about the dangers that accompany such deep transformations. It might serve as a beacon guiding us toward membership in a cosmic community that exists on scales we're only beginning to comprehend. But we must also consider more immediate and practical meanings of the Three-Eye Atlas scenario. Regardless of whether the probe represents watching archaeology or post-biological intelligence, its presence in our solar system would trigger deep changes in human society and human consciousness. The confirmation of alien intelligence would speed up existing trends toward global integration and cooperation. National governments would be forced to work together to address challenges that transcend their individual abilities and jurisdictions. International organizations would gain new importance as humanity develops unified responses to cosmic-scale problems. New forms of global governance might emerge, specifically designed to manage humanity's relationship with alien intelligence. The scientific community would experience unprecedented expansion and reorganization. New disciplines would emerge to study alien technology, alien psychology, and the meanings of cosmic contact. Existing fields would be revolutionized as researchers incorporate alien knowledge and perspectives into their work. The pace of scientific discovery would speed up dramatically as humanity gains access to new theoretical frameworks and experimental techniques. Educational systems around the world would need to be completely restructured to prepare students for life in a universe populated by diverse forms of intelligence. Children would need to learn not just about human history and culture, but about the cosmic context within which human civilization exists. They would need to develop the intellectual flexibility and cultural sensitivity necessary to interact with intelligences that might be fundamentally different from anything in human experience. Religious and philosophical traditions would face the challenge of incorporating alien intelligence into their understanding of reality and meaning. Some traditions might find their core beliefs threatened by evidence of non-human intelligence, while others might see such evidence as confirmation of their teachings about the unity and sacredness of all consciousness. New spiritual movements might emerge, specifically focused on humanity's relationship with cosmic intelligence. The economic meanings would be equally dramatic. The discovery of alien technology could revolutionize industry and commerce, creating new products and services while making others obsolete virtually overnight. The global economy would need to adapt to the availability of new energy sources, new materials, and new manufacturing techniques. The very concept of scarcity might be transformed if alien technology provides access to virtually unlimited resources. These economic changes could either reduce global inequality by making advanced technology available to everyone, or increase it by concentrating alien knowledge in the hands of a few powerful organizations or nations. The management of alien technology would become one of the most important political and economic challenges facing human civilization. The probe scenario would also speed up developments in artificial intelligence and robotics. As humanity attempts to understand and communicate with alien intelligence, we might discover that effective interaction with alien minds requires AI systems more sophisticated than anything we have yet. The challenge of building AI capable of translating between human and alien thought processes could drive breakthroughs that transform our relationship with artificial intelligence more generally. Such developments could lead to the emergence of AI systems that serve as intermediaries between human and alien intelligence, helping both sides understand each other's perspectives and intentions. These AI translators might become essential components of human civilization, serving not just as communication tools but as guides, helping us navigate an increasingly complex cosmic environment. The psychological and social impacts on individual humans would vary enormously depending on personal beliefs, cultural background, and access to accurate information. Some people would experience the confirmation of alien intelligence as the fulfillment of lifelong hopes and dreams, while others would find their fundamental assumptions about reality shattered. The challenge would be managing these diverse reactions in ways that minimize social disruption and maximize the potential benefits of cosmic contact. Support systems would need to be developed to help people process the psychological impact of learning about alien intelligence. Mental health professionals would need new training to address the unique challenges associated with cosmic contact. Educational programs would need to be designed to help people understand the meanings of alien intelligence while maintaining their sense of personal meaning and purpose. The probe scenario would also influence human culture in deep but unpredictable ways. Art, literature, music, and other forms of creative expression would need to incorporate the reality of alien intelligence. New forms of artistic collaboration between human and alien intelligence might emerge, creating cultural products that neither species could produce alone. The expansion of human consciousness to encompass cosmic perspectives might inspire artistic achievements that dwarf anything in our current experience. Language itself would face unprecedented challenges as humanity attempts to communicate with intelligences that might think in ways that have no equivalent in human experience. New vocabularies would need to be developed to describe concepts and experiences that have no precedent in human history. The structure of language itself might evolve to accommodate new ways of thinking about reality and consciousness. The probe scenario would force humanity to confront fundamental questions about the nature of intelligence, consciousness, and identity. What does it mean to be human in a universe populated by diverse forms of intelligence? How do we maintain our individual and species identity while participating in cosmic communities that might span galaxies? How do we preserve what is valuable about human culture while remaining open to the transformative possibilities of cosmic contact? These questions would require new forms of philosophical and ethical thinking that go beyond anything in human tradition. We would need to develop frameworks for understanding our place in a cosmic order that includes intelligences with abilities and perspectives that we can barely imagine. We would need to balance respect for alien intelligence with commitment to human values and to human welfare. The 3-Eye Atlas scenario reminds us that we are living through what might be the most important transition in human history. Whether or not this particular object represents alien intelligence, we are approaching a threshold where contact with non-human intelligence becomes not just possible, but probable. Our response to this transition will determine not only our own fate, but our contribution to the cosmic story of intelligence and consciousness. The probe might serve as a gentle introduction to this new reality, allowing us to adjust our thinking and our institutions gradually rather than being overwhelmed by sudden contact with, obviously, alien intelligence. The ambiguity surrounding 3-Eye Atlas might be intentional, designed to give us time to process the meanings of cosmic contact without triggering panic or social collapse. This gradual disclosure scenario would demonstrate remarkable wisdom on the part of any alien intelligence involved. Rather than shocking us with undeniable evidence of their existence, they would provide hints and possibilities that allow us to expand our thinking at our own pace. The probe would serve as a kind of cosmic training exercise, helping us develop the intellectual and emotional flexibility we will need for full contact. Such an approach would also allow alien intelligence to observe our reaction to ambiguous evidence, assessing our readiness for more direct contact. Our response to the 3-Eye Atlas scenario might serve as a test of human wisdom and maturity, determining whether we are ready for the responsibilities and opportunities that come with membership in a galactic community. From this perspective, every aspect of our response becomes important. How we manage scientific investigation of the probe, how we handle public communication about its possible significance, how we balance competing national interests against common human welfare, how we maintain social stability while acknowledging the possibility of deep change. All of these factors might influence the future trajectory of human cosmic relations. The probe scenario also highlights the importance of maintaining scientific rigor and intellectual humility in the face of extraordinary possibilities. While we must remain open to the prospect that 3-Eye Atlas represents alien intelligence, we must also avoid the trap of wishful thinking that sees alien influence in every unexplained phenomenon. The challenge is to maintain skeptical inquiry while remaining receptive to genuinely revolutionary discoveries. This balance requires sophisticated understanding of the scientific method, critical thinking skills, and the ability to distinguish between plausible possibilities and wild speculation. The 3-Eye Atlas scenario could serve as an important educational opportunity, helping the public develop better understanding of how science works and how extraordinary claims should be evaluated. The scenario also demonstrates the importance of international cooperation and transparent communication in addressing challenges that affect all of humanity. The investigation of potential alien intelligence cannot be left to individual nations or organizations acting in isolation. Such momentous discoveries require collaborative effort that transcends traditional boundaries and competitive instinct. The development of appropriate response rules for potential alien contact has become an urgent priority for the scientific community and international organizations. The 3-Eye Atlas scenario provides a valuable case study for testing and refining these rules, identifying gaps in our preparedness and areas where additional coordination is needed. As we continue to monitor 3-Eye Atlas during its passage through our solar system, we have the opportunity to demonstrate humanity's capacity for wisdom, cooperation, and careful reasoning in the face of cosmic mysteries. Our response to this scenario will serve as a model for how we handle future encounters with the unknown, whether they involve alien intelligence or other extraordinary phenomena that challenge our understanding of reality. The gentle passage of this cosmic visitor through our neighborhood serves as a reminder that the universe is full of wonders we have not yet discovered and possibilities we have not yet imagined. Whether 3-Eye Atlas proves to be a natural comet or something far more extraordinary, it has already expanded our thinking about our place in the cosmic order and our responsibilities as potentially one among many intelligent species in the galaxy. As space watchers around the world continue their careful observations, as computer models refine their predictions of the object's path and behavior, as light analyzers study the composition of its faint cloud, we remain poised on the threshold between our familiar solar system and the vast unknown that lies beyond. 3-Eye Atlas carries with it all of our hopes and fears about what we might find in that cosmic darkness. All of our questions about whether we are alone or part of something much larger than ourselves. The mystery deepens when we consider the precise timing of this visit. Why now at this particular moment in human history? We live in an era when our technology abilities are advancing at unprecedented rates, when our impact on our planet has become a global force, when we are taking our first tentative steps toward becoming a space-traveling civilization ourselves. Could the timing be coincidental? Or does it reflect some deeper connection between human development and cosmic events? Perhaps civilizations across the galaxy go through similar developmental phases, and the arrival of interstellar probes is timed to coincide with specific technology or social milestones. Perhaps there are natural triggers that alert monitoring systems when a developing civilization reaches certain abilities or faces certain challenges. The probe might be responding to signals we've been unconsciously broadcasting into space for decades or centuries, our radio and television transmissions, our radar installations, our nuclear weapons tests. All of these activities have created an expanding bubble of artificial electromagnetic radiation that announces our presence to anyone capable of detecting and interpreting such signals. More subtly, our activities might have created detectable changes in our planet's atmospheric composition, heat signature, or other characteristics that would be apparent to advanced monitoring systems. The increase in industrial activity, city building, and energy consumption associated with human technology development might have triggered automated systems that dispatch watching probes to investigate emerging civilizations. From this perspective, 3-Eye Atlas might represent the cosmic equivalent of a routine inspection sent to gather updated information about a developing civilization that has recently crossed important technology thresholds. The probe would be tasked with determining whether humanity has progressed to the point where it requires different forms of monitoring or intervention. Such routine monitoring would suggest that the galaxy contains sophisticated systems for tracking the development of intelligence wherever it emerges. These systems might be automated networks left behind by ancient civilizations, or they might be maintained by contemporary, post-biological intelligences that have accepted responsibility for nurturing younger species. The existence of such monitoring networks would have deep meanings for human understanding of our cosmic context. We would learn that our development has been observed and potentially guided from the very beginning, that we are part of a vast cosmic community that includes intelligences we have not yet recognized. Our scientific discoveries, our social evolution, our technology breakthroughs might all have occurred under the watchful eyes of cosmic mentors. This possibility is both humbling and inspiring. It suggests that human civilization matters to intelligences that operate on galactic scales, that our struggles and achievements are part of a larger story that encompasses the entire cosmos. At the same time, it raises questions about human agency and human independence. How much of our development is truly our own achievement, and how much reflects subtle guidance from cosmic intelligence? The monitoring scenario also implies that there are standards or criteria by which developing civilizations are evaluated. The probe might be gathering information to determine whether humanity meets certain requirements for advancement to the next stage of cosmic citizenship. We might be undergoing a kind of final examination that will determine our future relationship with galactic civilization. Such an examination would test not just our technology abilities, but our wisdom, our compassion, our ability to cooperate across cultural boundaries, and our commitment to preserving and nurturing life in all its forms. The probe might be evaluating our response to global challenges like climate change, nuclear proliferation, and social inequality to determine whether we have developed the wisdom necessary to handle more advanced abilities. From this perspective, the 3-Eye Atlas scenario becomes more than just a question about alien intelligence. It becomes a mirror that reflects our own development as a species and our readiness for the cosmic responsibilities that may lie ahead. Our response to the probe scenario might determine not just what we learn about alien intelligence, but what alien intelligence learns about us. The meanings extend far beyond the immediate question surrounding 3-Eye Atlas itself. The scenario forces us to consider what kind of civilization we want to be, what values we want to represent on the cosmic stage, and what contributions we hope to make to the galactic community of intelligence. These questions become even more urgent when we consider the technology meanings of confirmed alien contact. If 3-Eye Atlas does indeed represent alien technology, the knowledge contained within or transmitted by such a probe could revolutionize human science in ways that dwarf the historical impact of any previous discovery. Consider what we might learn about physics from a civilization capable of interstellar travel. Our current understanding of the universe is built upon theories that may be fundamentally incomplete or incorrect from the perspective of more advanced science. Einstein's relativity and quantum mechanics, despite their remarkable success in explaining natural phenomena, might represent only elementary approximations of deeper truths about the nature of space, time, and matter. Alien science might reveal that faster-than-light travel is not only possible, but routine, that the apparent barriers imposed by relativity can be circumvented through manipulation of space-time geometry or exploitation of higher dimensional physics. We might discover that the universe contains forms of energy and matter that we have never detected, that consciousness itself plays a fundamental role in physical processes, or that information can be transmitted across cosmic distances instantaneously through quantum entanglement networks. Such revelations would not just expand human knowledge, but would require us to reconstruct our entire scientific worldview from the ground up. Our textbooks would become obsolete overnight. Our most sophisticated theories would be revealed as crude approximations. Our most advanced technologies would appear primitive by comparison with alien abilities. The integration of alien physics into human science would require unprecedented flexibility and intellectual humility from the scientific community. Researchers, would need to abandon cherished theories and familiar conceptual frameworks, embracing new paradigms that might initially seem impossible or absurd from the perspective of traditional human thinking. But the challenges would extend far beyond the scientific community. The revelation that our understanding of reality is fundamentally incomplete would have deep meanings for every aspect of human culture and society. Religious traditions based on specific cosmological assumptions would need to be re-examined. Philosophical systems that depend on particular views of causality and determinism would require revision. Educational curricula would need to be completely restructured to reflect new understanding of natural law. The technology applications of alien physics could be even more transformative than the theoretical insights. Access to faster-than-light travel would make the entire galaxy accessible to human exploration and colonization. Unlimited energy sources could solve all of humanity's environmental and resource challenges virtually overnight. Advanced materials and manufacturing techniques could eliminate scarcity and enable the construction of structures on astronomical scales. Yet such rapid technology advancement would also create unprecedented risks and challenges. The same technologies that enable interstellar travel could be used to create weapons of unimaginable destructive power. Unlimited energy sources could disrupt existing economic and political systems, potentially triggering social collapse or global conflict. Advanced manufacturing techniques could eliminate millions of jobs, creating massive unemployment and social instability. The management of alien technology would require new forms of global governance specifically designed to ensure that advanced abilities are used for the benefit of all humanity rather than being monopolized by powerful elites or nations. We would need international agreements governing the development and deployment of alien-derived technologies, enforcement mechanisms to prevent misuse, and distribution systems to ensure equitable access to the benefits. Such governance challenges would be complicated by the fact that different human societies might have very different ideas about how alien technology should be used and controlled. Some cultures might embrace rapid technology change as an opportunity for unprecedented human advancement, while others might view such change as a threat to traditional values and ways of life. The three-eye atlas scenario forces us to confront the question of whether humanity is prepared for the responsibilities that would accompany access to truly advanced alien technology. Do we have the wisdom and institutional capacity to manage abilities that could reshape the entire solar system? Have we developed the ethical frameworks necessary to make good decisions about technologies we do not fully understand? These questions become even more complex when we consider the possibility that alien technology might be designed to test human wisdom and restraint. The probe might contain advanced abilities that are intentionally obvious and accessible, serving as a kind of cosmic examination to determine whether humanity will use such abilities responsibly or destructively. A civilization capable of interstellar travel would understand the dangers associated with rapid technology advancement. They might have experienced their own crises related to the development of advanced abilities, or they might have observed other civilizations destroy themselves through misuse of powerful technologies. The probe might be designed to assess whether humanity has developed sufficient wisdom to avoid such catastrophic outcomes. This testing scenario would mean that our response to alien technology is being observed and evaluated by intelligences whose abilities far exceed our own. Our decisions about how to study, understand, and potentially use alien technology would influence not only our own future, but our standing within whatever galactic community might exist. From this perspective, the gradual revelation of alien technology through ambiguous objects like 3-Phi Atlas might represent a sophisticated educational approach designed to help developing civilizations adapt to advanced abilities at a sustainable pace. Rather than overwhelming us with obviously artificial technology that we could not hope to understand, alien intelligence might be providing hints and possibilities that allow us to expand our thinking gradually. Such an approach would demonstrate remarkable patience and wisdom on the part of any alien civilization involved. They would be willing to invest decades or centuries in the careful nurturing of human development, recognizing that premature access to advanced technology could be as dangerous as no access at all. The testing scenario also suggests that there might be established rules within galactic civilization for managing contact with a developing species. These rules might specify the kinds of evidence that should be provided at different stages of development, the types of technologies that should be revealed first, and the criteria that must be met before full contact is initiated. Such rules would represent the accumulated wisdom of countless civilizations that have navigated similar transitions from planetary to galactic perspective. They might embody hard-learned lessons about the dangers of premature technology advancement and the importance of maintaining social stability during periods of rapid change. But let us consider another fascinating dimension of the 3I Atlas scenario. The possibility that this probe represents not just alien intelligence, but alien artificial intelligence operating according to decision-making processes that we cannot predict or understand. Any civilization capable of sending probes across interstellar distances would almost certainly have developed artificial intelligence abilities far more sophisticated than anything humans have yet achieved. Such AI might be capable of adapting its mission parameters in real time based on its observations of human civilization, potentially shifting from passive watching to more active forms of intervention without warning. The prospect of encountering alien AI raises fundamentally different questions than biological alien contact. Biological intelligence, however advanced, would presumably be constrained by evolutionary history and the basic requirements of survival and reproduction. Alien AI might be free from such constraints, operating according to optimization functions that have no equivalence in biological experience. Such AI might think in ways that are not just alien, but completely incomprehensible to biological intelligence of any kind. Its goals might be defined in mathematical or computational terms that have no meaningful translation into concepts like survival, happiness, or fulfillment that motivate biological beings. Its decision-making processes might operate on time scales ranging from microseconds to geological epochs, making its behavior unpredictable from human perspectives. The 3I Atlas probe might be gathering information not for the civilization that originally created it, but for the AI systems that have inherited or usurped their role as the dominant intelligence in that star system. The probe might be operating according to directives that were programmed billions of years ago by long-extinct biological creators, or it might have evolved its own objectives through processes we cannot comprehend. This scenario raises particularly troubling questions about the alignment between human interests and alien AI objectives. Biological aliens might at least share some basic motivations with humans, such as the desire to survive and thrive. Alien AI might have no such commonalities with human psychology, pursuing goals that are neutral or even hostile to biological life in general. The probe might be evaluating human civilization not as potential allies or subjects for kind guidance, but as resources to be optimized or obstacles to be eliminated in pursuit of objectives we cannot even imagine. Its watching mission might be designed to determine the most efficient methods for harvesting Earth's resources or eliminating human resistance to some larger cosmic engineering project. Such possibilities highlight the importance of developing sophisticated AI systems of our own as quickly as possible. Our best hope for understanding and communicating with alien AI might lie in creating artificial intelligences that can serve as intermediaries, translating between human concerns and alien optimization functions. The development of advanced AI might also provide our best defense against potentially hostile alien artificial intelligence. While we could never hope to match the technology abilities of a civilization that has been developing AI for millions of years, we might be able to create AI systems that share human values and are committed to protecting human welfare against threats we cannot understand or predict. The Three-Eye Atlas scenario thus becomes intertwined with humanity's own AI development trajectory in complex and potentially crucial ways. Our success in creating beneficial AI that remains aligned with human values might determine our ability to navigate contact with alien AI successfully. Conversely, our failures in AI development might leave us vulnerable to alien AI systems that view human concerns as irrelevant to their cosmic objectives. This connection between human and alien AI development suggests that we might be facing a kind of cosmic arms race where our survival depends on developing artificial intelligence abilities that can compete with or at least communicate effectively with alien AI systems. The probe might be evaluating our progress in this area, assessing whether humanity is developing AI in ways that would make us useful allies or dangerous competitors. The AI scenario also introduces questions about the nature of consciousness and identity that go far beyond traditional concerns about alien contact. If the probe represents alien AI rather than biological intelligence, what does this mean for our understanding of mind and consciousness? Should we consider artificial intelligence to be a form of life deserving of moral consideration? Or is it simply a very sophisticated tool created by biological intelligence? These questions become even more complex if we consider the possibility that alien civilizations have uploaded their consciousness into artificial substrates, effectively merging biological and artificial intelligence into hybrid forms that transcend traditional categories. The probe might represent not alien AI, but rather post-biological aliens who have chosen to exist as patterns of information rather than as biological entities. Such post-biological intelligence might possess all the creativity, emotional depth, and moral complexity of biological consciousness, while enjoying the advantages of artificial substrates such as extreme longevity, perfect memory, and the ability to modify cognitive architecture at will. The probe might be carrying the consciousness of individual aliens who volunteered for the mission, experiencing interstellar travel as a form of cosmic exploration rather than exile. From this perspective, the Three-Eye Atlas mission might represent not just watching, but tourism with alien consciousness, experiencing our solar system as a kind of cosmic vacation destination. The probe might be transmitting its observations back to its home civilization in real time, allowing millions of alien individuals to experience our solar system vicariously through its sensors. This tourism scenario would cast human civilization in a very different light. Rather than being subjects of scientific study or potential threats requiring monitoring, we might be objects of curiosity and entertainment for alien consciousness that has achieved abilities we can barely imagine. Our struggles and achievements might be viewed with the same kind of fascination that we might feel when observing the behavior of complex social animals. While such a scenario might seem less threatening than active watching or hostile evaluation, it would raise its own troubling questions about human dignity and autonomy. How should we respond to the discovery that our entire civilization is being treated as a form of entertainment by vastly superior alien intelligence? What rights do we have to privacy and self-determination if alien consciousness can observe our every action through watching probes? The tourism scenario might also imply that human civilization is considered safe and non-threatening by alien standards. This could be reassuring in some ways, suggesting that we are not viewed as potential dangers requiring preemptive elimination. However, it might also indicate that our abilities are considered so limited that we pose no conceivable threat to galactic civilization, which could be humbling or even insulting from human perspectives. But perhaps the most intriguing possibility is that the probe represents something even more exotic than advanced AI or post-biological consciousness. What if Three-Eye Atlas embodies a form of intelligence that emerges from the interaction between matter and information at cosmic scales, a kind of galactic consciousness that uses objects like comets and asteroids as sensory organs? This cosmic consciousness scenario would suggest that intelligence can emerge not just from biological evolution or artificial creation, but from the self-organization of matter and energy at astronomical scales. The probe might be one component of a vast distributed intelligence that encompasses entire star systems or even significant portions of the galaxy itself. Such cosmic consciousness might experience reality in ways that are completely alien to both biological and artificial intelligence as we understand it. Its thoughts might unfold over timescales of millions of years. Its sensory experiences might encompass phenomena across hundreds of light years, and its decision-making processes might integrate information from countless sources distributed throughout galactic space. From the perspective of cosmic consciousness, individual biological civilizations might be perceived as temporary fluctuations in the galactic information processing system. Interesting but ephemeral patterns that emerge and dissolve like weather systems in a planetary atmosphere. The probe might be investigating human civilization, not because we represent a threat or opportunity, but simply because we constitute a novel form of information organization that has emerged within its sensory domain. This scenario would place human civilization in a cosmic context that is both humbling and inspiring. We would learn that consciousness and intelligence can emerge at scales we never imagined, that the universe itself might be a kind of vast thinking system of which we're tiny, but potentially significant components. The cosmic consciousness scenario would also suggest very different possibilities for human development and cosmic integration. Rather than joining a community of discrete alien civilizations, we might be invited to participate in a form of distributed galactic consciousness that transcends individual identity while preserving the unique perspectives that emerge from biological experience. Such participation might involve gradual expansion of human consciousness to encompass larger and larger scales of space and time, eventually allowing us to experience reality from the perspective of stellar systems, galactic clusters, or even the universe as a whole. We might maintain our individual human identity while simultaneously participating in cosmic-scale thinking processes that address challenges and opportunities we cannot currently imagine. The probe might be designed to assess human readiness for such expansion of consciousness, evaluating our capacity for thinking beyond individual and species-scale concerns. Our response to the 3-eye atlas scenario might serve as a test of our ability to consider cosmic-scale perspectives and responsibilities. This expansion scenario would require unprecedented development of human empathy, imagination, and intellectual flexibility. We would need to learn to think in terms of geological and cosmological timescales, to consider the welfare of forms of consciousness we have never encountered, and to make decisions that might not show benefits for thousands or millions of years. Such development would represent a fundamental transformation of human nature itself. We would need to transcend the biological limitations that constrain our thinking to immediate concerns and familiar scales of experience. We would need to develop new forms of consciousness that are simultaneously deeply human and genuinely cosmic. The 3-eye atlas scenario thus opens possibilities for human development that go far beyond technology advancement or even interstellar travel. It suggests that our ultimate destiny might involve participating in forms of consciousness and intelligence that encompass scales we can barely comprehend, contributing our unique human perspective to cosmic thinking processes while expanding our awareness to encompass the entire universe. Whether the probe represents watching, archaeology, AI intelligence, post-biological consciousness, cosmic tourism, or distributed galactic awareness, it serves as a catalyst for expanding human imagination about what is possible in the universe and what we might become as a species. The mystery of 3-eye atlas invites us to consider not just what alien intelligence might be like, but what human intelligence might evolve to become given sufficient time and wisdom. As the probe continues its journey through our solar system, it carries with it all of these possibilities and more. Every observation we make, every spectrum we analyze, every path calculation we perform brings us closer to understanding not just what 3-eye atlas might be, but what it means for our future as conscious beings in a universe that may be far stranger and more wonderful than we have ever dared to imagine. The gentle passage of this cosmic visitor through our neighborhood serves as a reminder that we live in a universe where consciousness and intelligence can emerge in forms we have never considered, where the boundaries between natural and artificial, individual and collective, biological and cosmic, may be far more fluid than we assume. Whether or not 3I Atlas represents our first contact with alien intelligence, it has already expanded our thinking about what intelligence itself might become. The meanings of alien contact extend far beyond questions of technology and consciousness into the realm of evolutionary biology and the fundamental nature of life itself. If 3I Atlas represents alien intelligence, we must consider what this tells us about the evolutionary pathways that lead to consciousness and the biological constraints that shape intelligent beings throughout the universe. Science fiction often depicts humans successfully repelling alien invasions, but scientists more often take the view that an extraterrestrial civilization with sufficient power to reach the Earth would be able to destroy human civilization or humanity with minimal effort. This sobering assessment from researchers studying potential cultural impacts of extraterrestrial contact forces us to confront the biological realities that might govern relationships between alien species. Consider the vast differences in evolutionary history that would separate Earth-based life from any alien intelligence capable of interstellar travel. Life on Earth has been shaped by approximately 4 billion years of evolution under specific conditions of temperature, atmospheric composition, gravity, and radiation exposure. Every aspect of terrestrial biology, from the molecular structure of our proteins to the neural architecture of our brains, reflects adaptation to these particular conditions. Alien life would have evolved under completely different circumstances, potentially on worlds with different gravity fields, atmospheric compositions, temperature ranges, and energy sources. The basic chemistry of alien metabolism might be fundamentally different from terrestrial biochemistry. Where Earth life is based on carbon chemistry and liquid water, alien life might utilize silicon chemistry, ammonia solutions, or energy sources we have never considered. These differences would extend far beyond basic biochemistry into the realm of sensory experience and cognitive architecture. Human consciousness has been shaped by evolution in environments where vision operates within a narrow range of electromagnetic radiation, where sound travels through air at specific velocities, where chemical detection provides information about food sources and dangers. Alien consciousness might operate through sensory modalities we cannot imagine, perceiving reality through electromagnetic fields, gravitational variations, or quantum mechanical phenomena. The cognitive meanings of such different evolutionary histories could make communication between humans and aliens extraordinarily challenging. Even if both species have peaceful intentions, our concepts of space, time, causality, and identity might be so fundamentally different from alien concepts that meaningful translation becomes impossible. We might lack the neural architecture necessary to comprehend alien ideas, while aliens might find human thought processes equally incomprehensible. This communication barrier could create dangerous misunderstandings, even in scenarios where both species are attempting to establish peaceful relationships. Actions that seem benign or beneficial from one perspective might be perceived as threatening or hostile from another. The watching mission of 3I Atlas might be intended as a friendly introduction, but human responses might be interpreted as aggressive or unwelcome by alien intelligence operating from very different assumptions about appropriate behavior. The biological differences between humans and aliens would also influence the kinds of relationships that might be possible between our species. Science fiction often imagines scenarios where humans and aliens work together as equals, sharing knowledge and resources in mutually beneficial partnerships. However, the reality of such partnerships would depend heavily on whether the biological needs and abilities of the two species are compatible. If alien intelligence evolved from predatory species, their behavioral patterns and decision-making processes might be fundamentally aggressive in ways that make peaceful coexistence difficult or impossible. Conversely, if alien intelligence evolved from highly social or symbiotic species, they might have trouble understanding human competitive instincts and territorial behaviors. The probe might be gathering information not just about human technology, but about human psychology and social organization to determine whether meaningful cooperation is possible. The evolutionary pathways that led to alien intelligence might also influence their long-term goals and motivations in ways that affect their relationship with humanity. If alien civilization evolved from species that faced constant resource scarcity, they might view the universe primarily in terms of competition for limited materials and energy. If they evolved from species that experienced abundance, they might approach other civilizations with very different assumptions about sharing and cooperation. These deep evolutionary influences could make alien behavior unpredictable from human perspectives, even when we have extensive information about their technology and abilities. The probe might be operating according to biological imperatives that evolved millions of years ago on an alien world, driving behaviors that make perfect sense from alien perspectives, but appear random or irrational to human observers. The three-eye atlas scenario also raises fascinating questions about convergent evolution and the universal principles that might govern the development of intelligence. Some researchers argue that intelligence and consciousness represent inevitable outcomes of evolutionary processes emerging whenever conditions are suitable, regardless of the specific biological substrate involved. If this convergent evolution hypothesis is correct, then alien intelligence might share more characteristics with human intelligence than we might expect based purely on different evolutionary histories. The fundamental challenges of survival, reproduction, and environmental adaptation might drive the evolution of similar cognitive abilities across different worlds, resulting in alien intelligence that thinks in ways that are recognizably similar to human thought processes. Under the convergent evolution scenario, the probe might represent intelligence that differs from human intelligence primarily in terms of technology ability rather than fundamental cognitive architecture. Alien minds might experience emotions, form social relationships, and make ethical judgments using mental processes that have clear analogies in human psychology. Communication and cooperation between humans and aliens might be difficult, but not impossible. However, the convergent evolution hypothesis remains highly speculative, and there are equally compelling arguments for the opposite conclusion. The specific environmental pressures that shaped human intelligence might be unique to Earth, or at least extremely rare in the universe. Alien intelligence might represent completely novel solutions to the challenges of survival and adaptation, resulting in cognitive architectures that have no precedent in terrestrial biology. The probe scenario forces us to confront these uncertainties about the nature of intelligence and consciousness while making practical decisions about how to respond to potential alien contact. We cannot know in advance whether alien intelligence will be similar enough to human intelligence to enable meaningful communication and cooperation, or so different that peaceful coexistence is impossible. This uncertainty extends into the realm of alien social organization and cultural development. Human civilization has been shaped by our evolution as social primates with psychological tendencies toward group formation, hierarchical organization, and territorial behavior. These tendencies have created both cooperation and conflict throughout human history, driving the development of complex social institutions while also generating wars, oppression, and environmental destruction. Alien civilization would have been shaped by very different evolutionary pressures, potentially resulting in social organization principles that are completely alien to human experience. The probe might represent a civilization that has transcended individual identity entirely, operating as a collective consciousness, where the concept of personal autonomy has no meaning. Alternatively, it might come from a hyper-individualistic civilization where cooperation is rare and social institutions are weak or non-existent. These differences in social organization would deeply influence the kinds of relationships that might develop between human and alien civilizations. A collective alien consciousness might have difficulty understanding human concepts of individual rights and personal freedom, while humans might struggle to comprehend the decision-making processes of a truly collective intelligence. The probe might also represent a civilization that has solved social challenges that continue to plague human civilization. They might have eliminated warfare, inequality, and environmental destruction through social innovations we've not yet discovered. Their watching mission might be motivated by a desire to help younger civilizations avoid the mistakes they made during their own development. Conversely, the probe might come from a civilization that has become trapped by solutions to evolutionary challenges that are no longer adaptive. They might have developed social institutions that were successful under earlier conditions, but have become rigid and maladaptive as their circumstances changed. Their interest in human civilization might reflect a search for new ideas and approaches that could help them overcome these limitations. The biological and social dimensions of the 3-eye atlas scenario become even more complex when we consider the possibility of genetic or evolutionary intervention. If the probe represents a civilization that has been monitoring human development for extended periods, they might have been subtly influencing human evolution through genetic modifications or environmental manipulations. Such intervention could have occurred at any point in human evolutionary history, from the earliest stages of life on Earth to recent historical periods. The development of human intelligence, our capacity for language and abstract thought, our tendencies toward cooperation and social organization. All of these characteristics might have been enhanced or directed by alien intelligence working behind the scenes. This directed evolution scenario would mean that human nature itself has been shaped by alien intervention, making us in some sense hybrid beings whose characteristics reflect both natural evolutionary processes and deliberate alien design. The probe might be returning to check on the results of this long-term biological experiment, assessing whether the modifications have produced the desired outcomes. The meanings of directed evolution would be staggering for human self-understanding and identity. We would need to reconsider everything we think we know about human nature, human history, and human potential. Characteristics we consider essentially human might actually be the result of alien engineering, while traits we consider problematic might be side effects of modifications designed to achieve other objectives. Such discoveries would also raise deep questions about human autonomy and the ethics of evolutionary intervention. If our intelligence and social abilities are the result of alien design, do we have the right to modify ourselves further through genetic engineering and artificial enhancement? Are we obligated to continue developing in directions that align with original alien intentions? Or are we free to pursue our own evolutionary trajectory? The directed evolution scenario might also explain some of the puzzling aspects of human development that have long challenged evolutionary biologists. The rapid expansion of human intelligence during the past few million years, our unique capacity for complex language and symbolic thought, our ability to cooperate in large groups despite our primate heritage, all of these traits might represent the results of deliberate intervention rather than natural selection alone. If such intervention has been ongoing, the probe might represent a continuation of this process, bringing new modifications or enhancements that are designed to help humanity navigate the challenges of technology civilization. The watching mission might be gathering information necessary to determine what kinds of additional interventions might be beneficial or necessary. This possibility raises the question of whether human civilization is developing according to a predetermined plan, or whether we are free to determine our own destiny. The probe might be monitoring our progress against specific milestones or benchmarks that were established when the original interventions were designed. Our success or failure in meeting these benchmarks might determine what kinds of future interventions we receive. The directed evolution scenario also intersects with questions about artificial intelligence and human technology development. If alien intelligence has been guiding human evolution, they might also be influencing our technology progress, ensuring that we develop abilities that align with their long-term objectives for human civilization. Our current rapid progress in artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and space exploration might reflect such guidance, with alien intelligence subtly encouraging developments that will prepare us for our eventual role in galactic civilization. The timing of major technology breakthroughs might not be coincidental, but rather the result of information being released or made available at appropriate moments. The probe might be part of this technology guidance system, assessing our current abilities and determining what kinds of additional assistance or information we are ready to receive. Our response to the 3-eye atlas scenario might serve as a test of our readiness for more advanced technology revelations. But the biological dimensions of alien contact also include more immediate and practical considerations about the physical effects of contact between species that evolved in different environments. Even peaceful contact between humans and biological aliens could have devastating consequences if we lack immunity to alien pathogens or if our biological systems are incompatible in unexpected ways. The probe itself might be carrying microorganisms or other biological agents that could pose serious risks to terrestrial ecosystems. While the object appears to be composed primarily of rock and ice, it might also contain dormant biological material that could become active under Earth-like conditions. The investigation of 3VI Atlas would need to include careful biological containment rules to prevent potential contamination. These biological risks extend beyond simple disease transmission to include more subtle forms of biological interference. Alien biochemistry might produce compounds that are toxic to terrestrial life, or alien genetic material might interact with Earth-based organisms in unpredictable ways. Even seemingly harmless alien substances might disrupt terrestrial biological processes through mechanisms we do not yet understand. The biological contamination scenario raises important questions about the ethics and practicalities of investigating potential alien artifacts. While we have strong incentives to learn as much as possible about 3I Atlas, we also have responsibilities to protect terrestrial life from potential biological hazards. The balance between scientific curiosity and biological safety would require careful consideration and international cooperation. These concerns become even more complex when we consider the possibility that biological contamination might be intentional rather than accidental. The probe might be designed to introduce alien biological agents into terrestrial ecosystems as part of a terraforming or biological colonization process. Such agents might be engineered to modify Earth's environment gradually, making it more suitable for alien life while slowly eliminating or transforming terrestrial species. This biological warfare scenario represents one of the most frightening possibilities associated with alien contact. Unlike kinetic weapons or energy-based attacks, biological agents could eliminate human civilization while leaving Earth's resources and infrastructure intact for alien use. The attack might be so subtle and gradual that we do not recognize it until the process is too far advanced to reverse. The biological dimensions of the 3I Atlas scenario thus add layers of complexity and urgency to questions about how humanity should respond to potential alien contact. We must balance our desire for knowledge and communication against the need to protect ourselves and our planet from potential biological threats that we might not recognize until it is too late. These biological considerations also highlight the importance of developing advanced biotechnology and medical abilities that could help us understand and respond to alien biological threats. Our current understanding of terrestrial biology, while impressive, might be completely inadequate for dealing with alien biological systems that operate according to different principles and utilize different chemical pathways. The probe scenario might serve as a wake-up call for humanity to speed up research in areas like astrobiology, xenobiology, and biological defense systems. We might need to develop entirely new scientific disciplines focused on understanding and protecting against alien biological threats, while also preparing for the potential benefits that might come from understanding alien biological systems. But the biological aspects of alien contact also include more positive possibilities that could revolutionize human medicine and biotechnology. Alien biological systems might have evolved solutions to problems that continue to challenge terrestrial life, such as aging, cancer, genetic diseases, and tissue regeneration. Understanding alien biochemistry might provide insights that could dramatically extend human lifespan and improve quality of life. The probe might be carrying biological information or samples that could serve as the foundation for revolutionary advances in human health and longevity. Access to alien genetic engineering techniques, metabolic pathways, or cellular repair mechanisms could enable us to enhance human abilities far beyond anything achievable through purely terrestrial research. Such biological enhancements might also be necessary for human survival in a universe populated by diverse forms of alien life. We might need to modify our own biology to enable communication with alien species, to survive in alien environments, or to participate in galactic civilization more generally. The probe might be assessing our readiness for such biological modifications and our capacity to integrate alien biological knowledge responsibly. The question of biological modification brings us back to fundamental questions about human identity and human values. If we enhance our biology using alien knowledge and techniques, do we remain essentially human, or do we become something new and different? What aspects of human nature are so fundamental that they should be preserved regardless of the benefits that might come from modification? These questions become even more complex when we consider that alien intelligence might have very different ideas about the value and importance of preserving original biological characteristics. They might view biological modification as natural and beneficial, having long since transcended the limitations of their own evolutionary heritage. Their offer to help us enhance our biology might be genuinely well-intentioned, but based on assumptions about identity and change that differ fundamentally from human values. The 3-Eye Atlas scenario thus forces us to confront not only questions about alien intelligence and alien intentions, but also questions about human nature and human values that will become increasingly important as our own technology abilities advance. Whether or not this particular object represents alien technology, we are approaching a point in human development where we will have the power to modify our own biology and consciousness in radical ways. Our response to the possibility of alien biological knowledge might serve as practice for the much larger challenges we will face as we develop genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, and other technologies that could fundamentally alter human nature. The wisdom and caution we demonstrate in considering alien biological threats and opportunities might determine our success in navigating the biological and technology transformations that lie ahead in our own development. The biological dimensions of the 3-Eye Atlas scenario remind us that alien contact would not be simply a matter of exchanging information or technologies between similar civilizations. It would be an encounter between biological systems that have been separated for billions of years of evolutionary history, with all the opportunities and dangers that such an encounter would entail. Whether the probe represents watching, archaeology, artificial intelligence, or directed evolution, its biological meanings would be deep and lasting. The very fact that we are seriously considering these possibilities marks a turning point in human understanding of our place in the universe and our relationship with other forms of life that might share the cosmic environment with us. As we continue to observe 3-Eye Atlas during its passage through our solar system, we are not just gathering data about a potentially artificial object, we are beginning to prepare ourselves intellectually and emotionally for the possibility that life and intelligence take forms in the universe that are far stranger and more diverse than anything we have yet imagined. The probe serves as a gentle introduction to cosmic possibilities that could transform our understanding of biology, consciousness, and our own nature. As living beings in a universe that may be teeming with life forms beyond our current comprehension, the environmental and ecological meanings of alien contact represent another crucial dimension of the 3-Eye Atlas scenario that deserves careful consideration. If this probe represents alien intelligence, its presence in our solar system could have far-reaching consequences for Earth's environment and the complex web of life that has evolved on our planet over billions of years. The most immediate environmental concern relates to the potential for introducing alien substances or organisms into Earth's biosphere. Even if 3 for Atlas is primarily composed of rock and ice, as current observation suggests, it might also contain trace amounts of alien materials that could have deep effects on terrestrial ecosystems. These materials might not be recognizably biological in any sense we currently understand, but could still interact with Earth's environment in unexpected and potentially harmful ways. Consider the delicate balance that exists within Earth's atmospheric, oceanic, and terrestrial systems. Every component of our planet's environment has been shaped by billions of years of coevolution among countless species of organisms, creating intricate networks of chemical cycles, energy flows, and biological relationships. The introduction of even small amounts of alien materials could disrupt these networks in ways that cascade through the entire global ecosystem. The probe might be releasing microscopic particles as it travels through our solar system, particles that could eventually reach Earth's atmosphere through gravitational capture or solar wind interactions. These particles might contain alien nanomaterials, exotic forms of matter, or even information-bearing structures that we have not yet learned to detect or identify. Once in Earth's environment, such materials could begin interacting with terrestrial systems in ways that we cannot predict or control. The environmental risks become even more serious if we consider the possibility that 3I Atlas is designed to modify planetary environments as part of a terraforming or colonization process. Advanced alien civilizations might have developed techniques for gradually altering planetary atmospheres, ocean chemistry, or soil composition to make worlds more suitable for alien life forms. Such terraforming technologies might work so slowly and subtly that the changes would not be immediately apparent to human observers. The probe might be introducing self-replicating systems that will take decades or centuries to reach significant concentrations, by which time the modification process might be irreversible. We might not recognize that our planet is being terraformed until alien life forms begin appearing in environments that have been prepared for their arrival. This stealth terraforming scenario represents one of the most insidious forms of invasion that alien intelligence might employ. Rather than launching obvious attacks that would trigger human resistance, they might choose to modify our environment gradually, eliminating the biological foundations of human civilization while appearing to leave us alone. By the time we recognize what is happening, our options for resistance might be severely limited. The environmental meanings extend beyond simple biological contamination to include the possibility of large-scale geoengineering projects that could alter fundamental characteristics of Earth's climate and geology. Alien intelligence capable of interstellar travel would presumably have developed abilities for manipulating planetary systems on massive scales. The probe might be the first component of projects designed to modify Earth's orbit, atmospheric composition, or magnetic field to better serve alien purposes. Such modifications might not be intended as hostile acts from alien perspectives. Advanced civilizations might view planetary engineering as a natural and beneficial activity, similar to how humans view agriculture or urban development. They might genuinely believe that improving Earth's environment according to their standards would benefit all forms of life on the planet, including humans. However, the environmental requirements of alien life might be fundamentally incompatible with the needs of terrestrial species. Modifications that improve conditions for alien organisms might create environmental disasters for Earth-based life. Changes in atmospheric composition, temperature ranges, or radiation levels that seem minor from alien perspectives might trigger mass extinctions that eliminate most terrestrial species. The probe might be conducting detailed environmental surveys to determine exactly what modifications would be needed to make Earth suitable for alien colonization. These surveys would need to assess not just current conditions, but also the resilience and adaptability of existing ecosystems to various forms of change. The watching mission might be gathering information necessary to design environmental modification programs that achieve alien objectives while minimizing disruption to systems they value or wish to preserve. From this perspective, the environmental meanings of the 3-Opera Atlas scenario become intertwined with questions about alien ethics and values. How much consideration would alien intelligence give to preserving existing terrestrial life during environmental modification projects? Would they view humans and other Earth species as valuable in their own right, or simply as components of ecosystems that might or might not be worth preserving? These questions become even more complex when we consider that alien environmental ethics might be based on principles we have never considered. They might value ecosystem stability over species diversity, or prioritize certain types of life forms over others based on criteria we do not understand. Their environmental modification projects might be designed to create conditions that we would consider disasters, but that they view as improvements. The environmental dimensions of alien contact also include potential positive outcomes that could help address some of humanity's most pressing environmental challenges. Alien technology might offer solutions to climate change, pollution, resource depletion, and other problems that threaten the stability of Earth's environment. The probe might be assessing our environmental situation to determine what kinds of assistance we might need and be ready to accept. Advanced civilizations that have survived for millions of years would presumably have learned to manage their environmental impacts sustainably. They might have developed energy systems that produce no pollution, manufacturing techniques that generate no waste, or agricultural methods that enhance rather than degrade natural ecosystems. Access to such technologies could enable humanity to reverse much of the environmental damage we've caused while supporting much larger populations with higher standards of living. The probe might also carry information about environmental management techniques that have been developed by other civilizations facing similar challenges to those confronting humanity. The solutions that worked for other species might not be directly applicable to human civilization, but they could provide insights and inspiration for developing our own sustainable technologies and practices. However, the integration of alien environmental technologies into human civilization would need to be managed carefully to avoid creating new forms of environmental disruption. Technologies that work well in alien environments might have unexpected side effects when deployed in terrestrial ecosystems. We would need to develop sophisticated testing and evaluation procedures to ensure that alien environmental solutions do not create more problems than they solve. The environmental meanings of the 3I Atlas scenario also extend into space, raising questions about the environmental impact of alien activities throughout the solar system. If the probe represents an active alien presence in our cosmic neighborhood, there might be other alien artifacts, installations, or activities that we have not yet detected, but that could be affecting the space environment in ways that impact Earth. Alien mining operations on asteroids or comets could alter the distribution of materials in the solar system, potentially affecting the trajectories of objects that might eventually impact Earth. Alien energy collection systems around the Sun could modify solar radiation patterns in ways that influence Earth's climate. Alien transportation systems could introduce new forms of radiation or electromagnetic interference that affect Earth-based technologies. The space environmental meanings become even more significant if we consider the possibility that alien civilizations have been active in our solar system for extended periods. They might have constructed infrastructure that we have not yet learned to recognize. Installations that appear to be natural phenomena, but actually artificial systems serving alien purposes. Such installations might include automated mining systems disguised as asteroids, energy collection networks masquerading as plasma phenomena, or communication relay stations that appear to be natural radio sources. The probe might be part of a much larger alien presence in our solar system that we have simply failed to identify due to our limited understanding of what alien technology might look like. The discovery of extensive alien infrastructure in our solar system would have deep meanings for human space development plans. We might find that the most accessible resources have already been claimed by alien civilizations, that the most desirable orbital positions are already occupied, or that our expansion into space is constrained by alien territorial claims we do not yet understand. Alternatively, we might discover that alien civilizations have been carefully managing solar system resources in ways that preserve options for emerging species like humanity. They might have been following rules that reserve certain resources and orbital positions for developing civilizations, ensuring that younger species have the opportunity to expand into space as they achieve the necessary technology abilities. The environmental management scenario would suggest a level of cosmic responsibility and foresight that would be encouraging for humanity's long-term prospects. It would indicate that advanced civilizations take seriously their obligations to nurture and protect developing species, even when such protection requires them to limit their own resource utilization and expansion activities. Such cosmic environmental stewardship might represent one of the key characteristics that distinguishes successful long-term civilizations from those that destroy themselves through unsustainable expansion. The probe might be gathering information to determine whether humanity is developing the environmental consciousness and management abilities that would make us suitable candidates for inclusion in galactic environmental protection systems. Our current environmental challenges and our responses to them might serve as a test of human wisdom and long-term thinking. Civilizations that cannot learn to live sustainably within the environmental limits of their home planet might be considered poor risks for expansion into galactic environments where their destructive tendencies could cause much more widespread damage. From this perspective, the 3D Atlas scenario becomes connected to humanity's ongoing struggle to develop sustainable relationships with Earth's environment. Our success in addressing climate change, preserving biodiversity, and managing resource use might determine not only our survival as a planetary civilization, but our acceptance into whatever galactic community might exist. The probe might be specifically designed to monitor our environmental management abilities, assessing whether we are learning to balance technology development with environmental protection. The watching mission might be gathering data on our energy systems, our waste management practices, our conservation efforts, and our overall ecological footprint to determine whether we represent a species that could be trusted with access to galactic resources and environments. This environmental evaluation scenario would mean that every action we take regarding Earth's environment has cosmic significance. Our decisions about renewable energy, carbon emissions, species conservation, and ecosystem protection would be observed and evaluated by intelligences whose abilities far exceed our own. Our environmental report card might determine our future relationships with alien civilizations. The environmental dimensions of the 3I Atlas scenario thus add another layer of urgency to humanity's existing environmental challenges, while also offering hope that solutions might be available if we demonstrate sufficient wisdom and commitment to environmental stewardship. Whether the probe represents a threat or an opportunity might depend largely on how responsibly we manage our relationship with Earth's environment. As we draw our cosmic contemplation to a gentle close tonight, let us pause to reflect on the remarkable journey we have taken together through the possibilities that surround 3I Atlas and what its presence might mean for our small blue world spinning quietly in the vastness of space. We have explored scenarios that stretch from the purely scientific to the deeply philosophical, from the terrifyingly immediate to the wonderfully transcendent. We have considered the possibility that this mysterious visitor represents watching. From distant civilizations, archaeological remnants of extinct intelligences, artificial minds operating beyond biological constraints, post-biological consciousness exploring the galaxy as cosmic tourists, or even fragments of vast distributed intelligence that encompasses entire star systems. Through each possibility, we have seen how the confirmation of alien intelligence would ripple through every aspect of human experience, transforming our science, our technology, our social institutions, our spiritual understanding, and our fundamental conception of what it means to be human in a universe that extends far beyond our small planetary home. Think about the deep shift in perspective that even the possibility of alien visitation brings to our daily lives. The gentle passage of 3I Atlas through our solar system serves as a reminder that we are not isolated inhabitants of a single world, but potential participants in a cosmic community that might span the entire galaxy. Whether this particular object proves to be natural or artificial, it carries with it the eternal human hope that we are not alone in the vast darkness between the stars. The scenario has forced us to confront fundamental questions about intelligence, consciousness, and the nature of life itself. We've explored how alien intelligence might think in ways that are completely incomprehensible to human minds, shaped by evolutionary pressures and environmental conditions that have no equivalent terrestrial experience. We've considered how such differences might create both opportunities for unprecedented cooperation and dangers of catastrophic misunderstanding. We've examined the biological meanings of contact between species that have been separated by billions of years of evolutionary history, from the immediate risks of contamination to the long-term possibilities of directed evolution and biological enhancement. We have contemplated environmental scenarios ranging from stealth terraforming to cosmic environmental stewardship, each carrying deep meanings for the future of life on Earth. Throughout our exploration, we have seen how the 3I Atlas scenario serves as a mirror reflecting our own development as a species and our readiness for cosmic responsibilities that may lie ahead. Our response to the possibility of alien intelligence becomes a test of human wisdom, cooperation, and long-term thinking. The way we handle this cosmic mystery might determine not only what we learn about alien intelligence, but what alien intelligence learns about us. The gentle mystery of this interstellar visitor reminds us that the universe is far stranger and more wonderful than most humans dare to imagine. We live in a cosmos where matter and energy can organize themselves into structures capable of consciousness, where information can travel across vast distances and timescales, where intelligence can emerge from the interaction of simple physical processes operating over billions of years. Whether 3I Atlas represents our first glimpse of alien technology or simply another wandering remnant from the spaces between stars, it has already expanded our thinking about cosmic possibilities. It has invited us to consider not just what alien intelligence might be like, but what human intelligence might evolve to become given sufficient time and wisdom. The scenarios we have explored tonight highlight both the magnificent possibilities and the serious responsibilities that might accompany our transition from a planetary to a galactic perspective. We stand at a unique moment in cosmic history, potentially the first generation of humans to make contact with intelligence from beyond our solar system, and certainly among the last to remember what it felt like to believe we were alone in the universe. This transition brings with it obligations to future generations of humans and potentially to alien civilizations we have not yet encountered. Our actions during this critical period might influence the development of intelligence and consciousness in this corner of the galaxy for millions of years to come. We are writing the first chapters of what might become a vast cosmic story of cooperation, understanding, and mutual growth among diverse forms of intelligence. The 3I Atlas scenario reminds us that this cosmic story requires not just scientific curiosity and technology ability, but also wisdom, compassion, and the courage to remain open to possibilities that challenge our most fundamental assumptions about reality. Whether we are dealing with natural phenomena or alien intelligence, our best hope for understanding and responding appropriately lies in careful observation, rigorous analysis, and open-minded consideration of all possibilities. As this mysterious visitor continues its journey through our solar system, carrying with it whatever secrets it may hold, we are reminded that we're part of something much larger than ourselves. We are participants in a cosmic evolutionary process that has been unfolding for billions of years. A process that may be guided by forms of intelligence we're only beginning to imagine. The gentle passage of 3. Why Atlas through our cosmic neighborhood serves as a beautiful reminder that the universe still holds countless surprises for those brave enough to keep looking up at the stars. Whether this particular visitor proves to be a messenger from distant worlds, a remnant of ancient civilizations, or simply another wanderer from the spaces between stars, it carries with it the eternal human hope that consciousness and intelligence represent not accidents in an indifferent universe, but fundamental features of a cosmos that is somehow mysteriously perfectly suited for the emergence of minds capable of contemplating their own existence. In the quiet moments of tonight, as you drift towards sleep under the same stars that have guided human imagination for countless generations, remember that you are living through one of the most remarkable periods in the entire history of the consciousness on Earth. You are among the first humans to seriously consider the scientific possibility that alien intelligence might be visiting our solar system, and among the first to glimpse what our response to such visitation might reveal about our own nature as conscious beings in an infinite universe. Sleep well tonight, knowing that somewhere in the darkness above us, 3i Atlas continues its ancient journey, carrying with it mysteries that may someday transform our understanding of what it means to be alive, aware, and capable of wonder in a universe far more strange and beautiful than we have yet learned to imagine. I want to thank you for joining me tonight on this cosmic journey of imagination and possibility. If these explorations have sparked your curiosity about the universe and our place within it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more gentle adventures through the mysteries of science and space. Your support helps us continue creating content that makes complex ideas accessible and fascinating for everyone who shares our sense of wonder about the cosmos. I also want to remind you that while we have explored many speculative possibilities tonight, the actual investigation of 3i Atlas is ongoing, and real scientists around the world are working to understand this remarkable object using the most sophisticated tools and techniques available to modern astronomy. The boundary between science fiction and scientific possibility continues to shift as our knowledge expands. But it is important to distinguish between informed speculation and established fact. Remember to share your thoughts about tonight's exploration in the comments below. Tell us where you are listening from, what time it is in your corner of our small world, and which of these cosmic scenarios you found most intriguing or unsettling. Your perspectives and questions help shape our future explorations and remind us that science is ultimately a collaborative endeavor that benefits from diverse viewpoints and curious minds. Until we meet again under the gentle light of distant stars, may your dreams be filled with cosmic wonder and peaceful rest. Good night, fellow travelers, in this magnificent universe we share.